You all know I am a pagan, I'm a witch. I've been into witchcraft basically my whole life. And I swear to God, if you come in here with, you're on a list, or you shouldn't be around kids anyways, go eat shit, you cocksucking motherfucker. Don't even come at me with that shit. One of my goddesses is Gaia, but I also interact with tree spirits. And sometimes I communicate with the Fae. You don't know me. Fuck off. Fucking bigots. I don't tolerate bigots on my channel. Fucking dumbasses, shit eaters. Today I'm talking about why I don't fucking enjoy comics. Excuse me. Fuck! Whoops, there went my camera. This video is going to be a little heavier and a little sadder than you're used to, so I do apologize for that. My name is Stephanie Bri, and
welcome to yet another episode of Nobody Lolcows, a series in which I cover lolcows you've never heard of, thus the name. And before anybody asks, yes, I am fully aware that the camera angle that my camera is recording at is completely fucked. Razer software just up and decided to update and then fuck over all of my settings, so I have to go through and manually redo everything, and I didn't even fucking notice until like halfway into the recording process, and just said fuck it. And for today's lolcow, we have a trans fetishist, aka trans trender YouTuber that goes by Stephanie Bri. This guy tries about as hard to be female as 50 Cent tries to be white. That is to say, Stephanie doesn't really try at all. I mean, look. However, before we get too deep into that rabbit hole, we must first talk about my subscribe star. If you like my content and you're an avid viewer of mine, and I mean you really, really like my content, you can join my subscribe star, where of course you get such perks that everybody else uses, like being able to see videos before they drop live. But of course, if you don't like the content that much, you can just like and subscribe and all that jazz, and hell, you could even join my Discord if you're into such a thing. But enough of that gay shit. Who is Stephanie Bri, you might be asking? Well, as stated earlier, Stephanie Bri is a small-time YouTuber that sits around all day long, uploading videos multiple times a day about itself and its opinions. But more specifically, of course, Stephanie Bri is a self-described asexual pagan from Idaho. And we're gonna dig into all of those things a little bit later in the video. However, Stephanie Bri likes coughing into the microphone.
Excuse me.
Stephanie Bri also has a weird habit of biting its lip impulsively. Has the most obnoxiously fake laugh I think I've ever heard in my life. Chooses to light cigars in the most incorrect and obnoxious way possible. Actually chooses to hawk loogies onto the floor of the trailer they live in on video.
Legit.
But worst of all, does not fucking wash its hands. Look at that fucking hand. Look at it. Soak it in. That's pretty fucking gross. Yeah, that's absolutely disgusting, and honestly, at first, I was thinking that the reason why Stephanie's hands were always so fucking dirty was because maybe Stephanie worked at a potato plant somewhere, because, you know, Stephanie lives in Idaho. Well, and then I saw this picture on Stephanie's Twitter, and whew, no, oh god, ugh. Doesn't even wash its feet. Holy shit. Moving on from all that introductory shit, let's just jump head first into some of these Stephanie Bri videos, eh?
Hey everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a sort of LGBTQ educational type video. Today we're talking about asexual, the A in the LGBTQIA+ letter salad.
Oh yeah, so fucking hyped about that. Can't wait to see what Stephanie Bri has to say about that shit.
But what is asexual? It's a spectrum, which makes it different than the others.
Asexual is just a lack of interest in fucking. All this other shit is just that. Shit. In fact, to take this a step further, the reason there's an A in front of sexual is because the A means without. So for example, atheism means without theism or without belief. Asymptomatic means without symptoms. The same concept applies to asexual. This isn't hard.
What that means is there's different degrees of asexual. There are asexual people that have zero tolerance for sex. They're offended by it or turned off by it. They don't have sexual attraction. They don't find other people sexually attractive. They don't have any desire to engage in sexual activity. They're just completely, they're just no. It's not for them. Period, not for them. You have some asexual people that, under the right circumstances, can be talked into some limited sexual activity, but only those that they're comfortable with, and it's not easy getting them comfortable.
Literally all you said just then was, people are different. You said nothing of any value. You literally just wasted everybody's time with that. I find it kind of disturbing that society currently is obsessed with trying to label every single difference between people as if each label makes that person that fits within that label somehow uniquely unique. It's not enough to just be different. We have to label it so we can be uniquely different. That's disturbing and narcissistic. You people need to just, go do happy things that our benevolent overlords at YouTube would totally approve of me saying.
You have a type of asexual known as demisexual. People who cannot, be sexually attracted to somebody unless they have a romantic connection first.
Imagine having a fucking label for not being a whore. I can't be normal. I have to be demisexual. So what are the whores? Are they omnisexual?
There's other degrees. Like I said, it's a spectrum of asexual people. Me and my girlfriend are both asexual. She's a little further along on the spectrum than I am. We're both touch-averse, which means we don't want to be touched by other people. No holding hands, no poking, no hugging, none of it. I don't like to be touched at all. At all. So that's where I am, and she's also the same. We have a very fulfilling, intellectual, personal, romantic relationship, and we're good with that. We don't need the physical stuff.
So she's just a roommate. You just described a roommate or a friend. Like, I don't... That was fucking retarded.
If you've noticed, I watch a lot of horror movies, especially a lot of R-rated teen slasher movies from the 1980s, which means I have seen a lot of naked chicks, mostly. There's occasional naked dudes in them as well. I do not seek out or observe or partake in pornography in any of its forms. Period. Never have, never will. I do not see the appeal.
I thought we were talking about asexuality, not your interest. It's weird.
There are a lot of asexual people who will not do anything of a sexual nature with a partner, but they'll explore things on their own. And there are asexual people that don't even do that. You know, the bullshit lie that people say everybody does it, you know, the big M word, everybody does it. There's just people who lie. Not everybody does it. And if you think everybody does it, it's because you do it too much. You might want to talk to somebody. You might have a sex addiction.
Why are we talking about masturbation? Nobody asked. Nobody... Also, are you suggesting that you don't masturbate? I'm pretty sure you do masturbate. I mean, look at them palms, man. You can't tell me you're not sitting there with fucking Vaseline every evening by yourself in them dirty-ass hands. Come on.
And yes, you can have a sex addiction. there's a difference between a healthy sex life and being addicted to sex. I'm not going to categorize what is healthy and what isn't. That's between you and your partners, and, you know, society can judge you as it deems necessary. I just won't even bother. It's none of my business. I don't care. You can have as much sex as you want. Just be safe, you know, and make sure it's goddamn consensual and legal. Don't go have sex with kids.
Yeah, guys, don't be child predators, as if you needed to be told that.
And I swear to God, if you come in here with, you're on a list, or you shouldn't be around kids anyways, go eat shit, you cocksucking motherfucker. Don't even come at me with that shit. You don't know me. Fuck off. Fucking bigots. I don't tolerate bigots on my channel. Fucking dumbasses. Fucking shit eaters.
Whoa. That escalated quickly. Anyway, moving on. Let's go look into the paganism of Stephanie Bri. And by the way, I need to point this out, okay? Pagans are stupid.
You all know I am a pagan. I'm a witch. I've been into witchcraft basically my whole life, off and on.
Stephanie Bri is a self-described witch. I feel like the Catholics of old, the Spanish or whoever the fuck it was, I think they had a point whenever they were burning witches. I mean, granted, they didn't do that nearly as often as people like to proclaim, but, you know, they had a point. Maybe we should bring that back.
I have 3 conflicting, interconnected perspectives on bugs and insects. I'm going to break them down one by one. I'm going to start with, I'm a pagan. And so I have not only a respect for life, but I have an appreciation for all living creatures, and I kind of, in my religious practice, am connected to nature. I'm more specifically in tune to plants. One of my goddesses is Gaia, but I also interact with tree spirits. And sometimes I communicate with the Fae, but I'm very cautious in doing so because you have to be careful with the Fae.
Yeah, of course. You got to be careful with the Fae. And, you know, Gaia and bugs and stuff. It all makes sense. It all makes sense the less you think about it. Doesn't sound batshit insane or crazy or nuts or like something the Christians didn't fully succeed at eliminating from everything, which would have been, by the way, the best possible option. I'm not a Christian or anything. All right, not even close. I'm an atheist. But I think pagans are fucking retarded. Now, one of the things that Stephanie Bri does pretty often on his channel is talk about little stories and anecdotes about its life. And one of those stories I found pretty interesting, and that was the story about fishing.
My name is Stephanie Bri, and today I'm reminiscing what it was like going fishing. If you're not familiar with fishing, it's basically a sport or pastime where you go out to a body of water, presumably filled with, you know, living creatures known as fishes or fish, and you attempt to catch said fish.
Gee, thanks for the tutorial on fishing. Also, did you notice that Stephanie Bri tries to sound feminine so hard that its voice cut out at the very start of that clip? Here, I'll play it again.
My name is Stephanie Bri.
It's hilarious. It kills me every time.
I was not one to bait my own hook. I was not touching the worms, and I was not puncturing the worms with the hook. So I would usually have to hand off my fishing rod to somebody else, usually one of my cousins or brothers-in-law, I don't know the correct grammatical phrasing, or one of my uncles, my dad, etc. Somebody else who was on the fishing trip would have to bait the hook for me. I was not going to touch the worms.
Fucking why? Are you afraid you're gonna get dirty? You're gonna get some, like, fucking worm, mud, goop shit on your fucking hands or something? I mean, look at your fucking hands. Look at it. Your hands are already fucking filthy. It looks like you fucking fist yourself on the daily. I mean, holy shit. Just fucking put the worm on the fucking hook, you weirdo. Dude, I can't with these people. But hey, maybe I'm just being a little too hard on Stephanie Bri here. I mean, after all, Stephanie is something that I am not. Something that you are not. Well, most of you anyway. Stephanie Bri is an author. Stephanie Bri wrote a book called Goldfish on the Mountain. And I'm going to be reading it right now.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it.
Oh, here we go. It just goes straight to chapter 1. There's no table of contents or anything. A gentle breeze, a goldfish, the back of his sounds of nature, the clicking. There was a young winter air touched his lungs. Time was on vacation. The sun was summerly setting behind the water, surrounded the food was lowered into the bowl, and there was no turning back. I can't read this anymore. Holy fuck, this is fucking terrible. It's bad. It's really bad. So because Stephanie Bri is such an accomplished author, unlike yourself and myself, Stephanie Bri can do something that we cannot, and that is properly critique cinema.
I'm just going to go through each film and give a thumbs up, thumbs down, and then I'll rank the films from worst to best. Rocky, thumbs up. Rocky 2, thumbs down. Rocky 3, thumbs up. Rocky 4, 2 thumbs up. Rocky 5, thumbs down. Rocky Balboa, thumbs down. Now let's do the ranking. The worst one, Rocky Balboa. The second worst one, Rocky 2. The third worst one, Rocky 5.
Literally fucking insane. Honestly, I kind of liked Rocky Balboa. I think it was one of the better ones. Even if you disagree with me and think it's one of the worst ones, you have to agree that it's better than Rocky 5. Rocky 5 is not just a bad Rocky movie, it's one of the worst movies ever made in the history of movies. But it doesn't stop there. Stephanie Bri also has a really, really intelligent critique of comedy.
Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephanie Bri, and today I'm talking about why I don't fucking enjoy comedies.
So it should of course be no surprise that somebody like Stephanie Bri does not like and or get comedy. Whenever I saw that fucking video title, I was like, wow. No shit. That makes perfect sense.
So, let me put this out there. I like some movies that are funny, and I do find some things humorous. I can enjoy a good comedy if it's done well. But as a genre, comedy relies too much on quips, which I'm not a fan of, one-liners, which I'm not really a fan of, but I can take or leave it. If it's a good one-liner, I don't care.
Okay.
The other things I don't like about comedy is there's a lot of punching down. There's a lot of making fun of, marginalized people. Making fun of people of color, making fun of LGBT people, making fun of foreigners, making fun of it's a lot of punching down. Do not punch down. Do not make fun of minorities. Just don't do it. Just don't do it.
Oh no! Offensive comedy! It's so offensive! If you don't like me making fun of a minority, that minority has the right to make fun of me back. There's a plethora of black comedians that make fun of white people all the time. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing any more wrong with that than a white person making fun of a black person. Don't you think it's a little bothersome that you're treating minorities like retarded children who lack agency? Don't you think that's kind of racist? I mean, seriously, think about it for a minute. You are unironically stating that minorities are beneath you by referring to mocking them as punching down. If you were the kind of person to consider yourself equal to that of a minority, you wouldn't call something like that punching down any more than you would refer to it as punching up. I don't know. I think that's a little racist, and definitely speaks volumes about your mindset. But hey, I don't care if you're racist or not. I'm not here to morally condemn you or anything. I'm just pointing out that if you're gonna act like a moral authority on a subject, you should at least do a little bit of soul searching before you start espousing nonsense on the internet that makes you look really fucking stupid. And while we're on the subject of punching down, there is nothing more fun than punching down. Whenever I'm walking down the street and I see a blind man, I like to trip him because it's fun. Punching down is fun. I'm kidding. I don't actually do that.
I'm not a fan of Evil Dead 2. I don't like that kind of comedy in my horror movies.
How can you hate a masterpiece like Evil Dead 2? It's a masterpiece. In fact, the very first Blu-ray I ever bought was Evil Dead 1 and 2, Army of Darkness, and the entire Ash vs. Evil Dead series. How could you not like those? Those are masterpieces. What's wrong with you?
But here's the kicker. I actually love sitcoms. Like, sitcoms are my jam. Especially the 3-camera, filmed in front of a live studio audience with a laugh track. I'm down for that. Give me more of that. I could watch those all day long.
All I got from that was, I don't like comedies, and the reason why is because I need a laughing track to tell me when to laugh. That's all I got from that. You are the living embodiment of a fucking NPC. Anyways, moving on from Stephanie's really bad cinema takes here, we need to talk about some drama, because of course, there has to be at least a little bit of drama attached to this video. You see, the astute among you may have noticed a distinct lack of me adding Stephanie Bri in the title of this video like I normally do. The reason why I chose not to do that this time is because of something that happened a little while ago. You see, a few months ago, I had sent somebody named Alister Mycroft on YouTube, link in the description, a video of Stephanie Bri's. He chose to take that video and turn it into a video of his own to, make fun of Stephanie Bri. Stephanie then decided to strike down that video, and Alister nearly lost his channel over it. So the question is, what was it that Alister was making fun of that triggered Stephanie so hard? Well, one of them was, of course, this hot dog video.
My name is Stephanie Bri, and in this video, I'm talking about the different types of hot dogs that I have experience with, and just my thoughts on them. So, they're not all hot dogs,
but of course, we're not going to go into that video, because the more interesting video that Alister was making fun of was this one.
They say take it off, I say keep it on. Bando, crop top, boy short, red down. I see you in my dreams, slow motion movie scenes, homemade crochet, dreamy with the low waist, cheeky, tankini. Girls in bikinis, on roller skates, in outer space. I see girls in bikinis, in platform heels, in new high wheels. Girls in bikinis, nylon spandex, dear Lord, what's next? Polyester pinstripe, whet my appetite. Polka dot see-through, put me in a good mood. A-cup, D-cup, give me love, don't cover up. Slow down my Lamborghini for girls in bikinis, on roller skates, in outer space. I see girls in bikinis, in platform heels, in new high wheels. Girls in bikinis, I wanna see boys in bikinis too. They'd look good on you.
That's the video. That's definitely a video on YouTube. Alright, the Dancing with the Stars LARP aside, we need to talk about something a little bit more pressing. We need to talk about something that I often fail to get across to my audience. You see, frequently I have to remind myself that the subjects of my videos are human. And with humanity, oftentimes comes an understanding of one's own mortality. And you see, Stephanie Bri had come to understand its own mortality very early in life when its cousin died.
Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephanie Bri. Today, this video is going to be a little heavier and a little sadder than you're used to, so I do apologize for that. I'm going to tell the story about how my cousin passed away when he was about 5 years old. 4 or 5 years old, give or take.
So tragic. Very, very, very sad.
I had this cousin, and this was so long ago, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't remember his name at all.
What a lovely start, you know? We're going to talk about my dead cousin. I don't remember his name, but we're going to talk about him. It's very sad.
So we used to walk over to my great uncle's house, and he had a trampoline. We used to jump around on the trampoline. And it was an old raggedy trampoline, very dangerous, by the way. And we used to all jump on the trampoline. And this kid, it was kind of a bully, I'll be honest with you. He knew I was scared of spiders, so he used to go into the woods and find spiders and then, like, dangle them in front of me or chase me with them or throw them at me.
What a piece of shit your cousin was. Fuck that guy. That fucking bully. How dare he take advantage of something that terrifies you so? What a piece of shit.
And one day I was on the trampoline, and he put a spider on the edge of the trampoline, so I was stuck on the trampoline. I couldn't get off because I couldn't get past the spider. And I was crying my eyes out. I was begging him to just get rid of the spider. And when he wouldn't do it, I said, "You're an idiot," and other bad words, and I said, "I wish you were dead." And I just, like, I hated him in that moment. I wanted him dead.
Yeah, what a perfectly rational, reasonable reaction to a spider that, for some reason, did not move an inch when put on the trampoline in front of you. Maybe the spider was frozen in terror as well.
Summer ends, we go back to school, and then my mom comes into my bedroom and says, "Hey, I have some bad news." And I'm like, what's going on? She tells me, "Your cousin, he's dead." And I was like, "What?" And she said, "Yeah, he was climbing a tree, and he was playing with a jump rope, and he fell, and the rope got tangled around his neck and the branch and broke his neck, and he hanged himself and died."
So many questions. Why did he take a jump rope to a tree? And how did he hang himself with the jump rope when he fell? And even if he did, with the jump rope around his neck, somehow hanging himself, how was it enough to snap his neck when he was like 5 years old? It makes no sense.
And I was just like I had just, like, a few weeks ago maybe, wished he was dead the last time I saw him, and then he was dead. And that really fucked me up for a while.
Oh, I bet it did. I bet that really deeply upset you. I can understand that. Yeah, like that's a deep regret, you know. I can understand that, you know. And this is what I mean, you know. Stephanie Bri, like all the rest of us, is human, you know. Makes sense. I get it.
I asked my mom to not let me go to the funeral, make me go to the funeral, and she agreed. She's like, "No, you don't have to go if you don't want to." And I didn't. I didn't go to his funeral because I didn't want to see him.
What the fuck? I felt so terrible. I felt so bad. I felt like a big piece of shit for wishing he was dead right before he died. I felt so terrible. I didn't even go to the fucking funeral.